Hello and welcome to another episode of MovieFellas, a podcast where some millennials with little to no knowledge talk about film, both classic and current. I am your host, Matt Rosenberg, and with me as always on my co-host, parenthesis, in parenthesis, Adam Norris.
Yeah, that's right.
He's here. And Hayes the David Toole. What is going on, gentlemen?
Not much. Trying to actually stick around for a full episode. So
yeah.
Woo, all right.
Internet's looking good. The ping is strong.
Dang.
I'm just taking a delightful sip of juice.
Off to a good start. I like it.
Yeah, off to a great start. How you guys been? You guys been doing good? Been seeing some good movie?
Actually.
Some good TV show?
I've only seen one movie since.
I saw my movie of the year. So.
Yeah, well, guess what, Adam? I'm really excited to see that, actually. I was trying to think of a good comment to rebut you with, but I'm actually really excited to see. But good one. I'm actually really excited to see that movie.
That'll be our next episode. We'll all have seen Baby Driver by then, and then it will be the topic of the next podcast.
You just ruined the tension. We were gonna build up the whole podcast to what you watching, mate, and finally reveal Adam's great. Okay, all right.
YOLO.
Good job, Hayes.
Let's get into some news, Matt.
All right, let's get into some news. F. Gary Gray, who was the director of The Fate of the Furious. Wow, okay. Tell us how you really feel.
Yeah, get it? Because it said F.
Yeah, Furious, that guy. You just wanted to tell him how great
his first name was Furious, but it was too much of a coincidence, so he has to go by F. Gary Gray from now on.
That's why they got him to direct it.
Poor guy.
That's why.
Furious
I was born for this.
It's like Mark Webb directing The Amazing Spider-Man in 1 and 2.
That's right.
Okay. He
Illuminati.
directed.
Look it up.
Confirmed.
It's all connected. Tell us about good old Gary. What's Gary up to?
Falling apart,
This has been the MovieFellas podcast, guys.
I'm so sorry. Let's learn about what good old Gary is doing.
So he directed The Fate of the Furious. He also directed Straight Outta Compton, which I haven't seen, but I've heard is fantastic.
Yeah.
Says that the Fast and the Furious franchise may go into outer space.
Gosh, I hate the world.
It's because they've run out of things to do on Earth.
So there's that, which is...
Dude, guys, hear me out. Hear me out. We're going to have Vin Diesel jumping an asteroid belt. Now, hear me out. Hear me out.
Yes!
The budget's going to be a little bit higher this time. I want to shoot on location.
Crashing actual asteroids.
We're going to chill out with ISS for a little bit. It's going to be great. You're going to love it. It's going to be like Gravity, but way better.
That's their launch point. That's their launch point.
Gravity, except way better. Oh, gosh. Yeah, I say
Sandra
do
Bullock.
it, because I haven't seen... You need Sandra Bullock when you get Vin Diesel. Oh, man.
Right?
Man, that sounds like an absolute garbage fire.
No, come on.
Dumpster fire.
I haven't seen Fate of the Furious,
No,
but I've heard
the whole landfill just bursts into flames. That's how bad it is.
What?
Paste, have you seen Fate of the Furious?
Is that the last one?
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
What, you liked it, right?
No.
Oh.
That's some important news then for all the people that don't like the movie series.
I mean, considering the fact that I hadn't seen any other movies, I didn't really have anything to base it off of, but I didn't like it.
Okay. Oh, well, fair enough.
I knew what was happening before it was happening, so I mean, yeah.
Fair enough. Okay.
And I was able to follow it, and I hadn't seen any of the other movies, so that just shows how in-depth that movie was.
Poor Gary.
In another set of news, I was completely wrong about Hayes' like of The Fate of the Furious. Anyway, I say do it, because those movies are ridiculous
just do
anyway,
it.
and that's what makes them fun. Shia LaBeouf style, just do it. He'll come up later on, by the way.
Oh, no.
Let's take it into space, guys. Let's just do it.
I think I know the Shia LaBeouf story, and it makes me sad, but we'll see.
It does. We'll get into the end. Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, which is Jurassic World 2, has finished filming. It's set to release on June 2018. What do you guys think about that?
That was fast.
As long as we get to see more of Chris Pratt's glistening arm sweat, I'm good to go.
Can we just get like a full 2-hour movie of Chris Pratt just shirtless, please?
Just shirtless.
straight
Slowly unbuttoning his
shirtless.
tanned cargo shirt and shorts.
Yeah.
Sitting on a motorcycle.
Well, I didn't say taking his pants off. I said taking his shirt off.
I didn't say that either.
Yes,
that's
you
what
did.
Was implied.
Okay, whatever.
You pervert.
Got to read between the pants lines. Come on, man.
This is probably the most off-the-cuff episode of MovieFellas ever.
This is
I'm
the
feeling
best
it.
so far.
I'm feeling it,
This
Mr.
is
Krabs.
comedy.
This is going to be very fun.
Man, what do you guys think about that? Are you guys excited?
Well,
That was really fast.
yeah, I'm actually kind of surprised the turnaround. But, I mean, the first one, or the new reboot, was a box office success, right? I mean, it doubled, tripled its budget.
It's like number 4.
Yeah, it was like in terms of money for the year.
Really?
The biggest opening of all time.
Holy cow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's like 1.6 billion.
I mean, commercially, it was a huge success. Film, meh. I mean, it was entertaining, which was its job.
Yeah.
So it
was
completed its job.
It was what you
just
expect
fine.
from a Jurassic Park movie.
Yeah.
I think it's honestly the best. Maybe not the best, but it's a good way to reboot it because Jurassic Park 2 sucked. Jurassic Park 3 was garbage. First one is obviously a fantastic movie, groundbreaking.
Jeff Goldblum was the only reason the first one was worth my time.
No, okay, yeah, he is the best part of that by far. He's coming back. You know that he's coming back,
He
right?
has to. He has no choice.
Well, it's the cycle of things. He does Independence Day sequel, and then he does Thor Ragnarok.
I think he invented a new language of English, like an entirely subset of English, where the spacing is impossible to predict. Well, that's great. I love that.
And then he'll talk really fast for like 2 minutes, and then just stop talking and then he talks really fast for 2 minutes. Yeah, it's amazing. Jeff Goldblum is a national treasure.
Please do me a favor, and can we never bring up the Independence Day sequel?
All right,
please.
Listen. I still haven't seen it.
Oh, dude, Matt, I've seen that. That's not just a dumpster fire. Oh boy,
that's like the whole entire
the things that
landfill
can be said about that
things.
movie. It really, as much as if it's a joke, Jeff Goldblum was the only thing okay about that film.
That's what I heard. He's like the
and
only
that's sad because he's a meme.
Granted, I do love Jeff Goldblum. I don't think he could even save that movie.
Well, he didn't save it. He was just like what I heard is he just like a highlight of it. It's like, okay, well, this sucks.
He's not even in
Jeff
that
Goldblum's
much either.
Pretty great.
As soon as I knew that Will Smith wasn't coming back because he knew he was smart and didn't want to ruin his career, I just assumed it wasn't going to be very good.
Well, he did Suicide Squad, and he did that Collateral Beauty where the people try to make this guy. He says his wife dies, and so then he has this company, and then they hire actors to become the embodiments of love, death, and something else, and then his friends won't think that he's doing something like they think that he's mentally unstable, so they want to take his company away. So what they do is they hire actors to play the embodiment of these characters, and then they set to digitally remove the characters, and then send a video of him talking to himself to the studio executives so that he loses his job. That is literally the plot of that movie.
That's a great movie. That sounds fantastic.
All that explanation and all we get from Norris is, that was a great movie.
I saw that synopsis and I'm like, this has to be a joke. And that's why it was completely panned by critics. The dumbest premise of any movie I've ever heard.
Are you sure about that? Have you not seen Tommy Wiseau's The Room?
I actually haven't still.
Oh, one day, listeners.
Sorry.
One day we will do a review of that.
We
movie.
We will have to do that. That would be fun.
Oh.
So I'm excited for Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom. I still haven't seen A Monster Calls, which is the J.A. Buena, the guy who's directing it, but he's done a lot of really good films. So I am excited for that. And
I'll go see it.
Should be good, probably, maybe. Who knows?
Yeah,
hopefully Jimmy Fallon isn't in this one.
Again, Jimmy Fallon makes his triumphant return as himself.
Carman, too.
In a rolling ball. Oh, man.
Yeah, that's pretty much the best thing he could have done.
It was pretty good.
Hope he gets
okay. Ready for the next set of news?
Oh, no.
Next piece of news. Daniel Craig, it looks like, is reportedly returning for a James Bond.
What?
Well, when you offer a man $75 million.
That was the rumor anyway. Yeah. So what do you guys think of that? Haste, I know you like Craig. I like Craig a lot too.
I'm excited. Bond. Yeah, if he's doing another, I am like on board. I will like throw my wallet and my debit card at Sony. Sony the one that does those movies?
Sony does them, correct. Yes.
Okay, yeah, I'll throw my wallet at Sony and be like, here, use it for the budget. Even though I got like $20.
And then after you do that, I'll say, do the Casino Royale type, but better. And they'll be like, ha ha ha, that's a good one. And then they won't do it.
They won't do it. I still haven't seen Casino Royale, which I really need to because I know it's
a fantastic. That's his first movie.
I know.
That doesn't make any sense. What?
But here's the thing. I've seen Skyfall, fantastic. I haven't seen. Well, no, I have seen Quantum of Solace. It's fine. It's
Quantum
as good as a movie.
Probably the weakest.
It is, and it's still not bad. Well, it happened in the middle of the writer's strike apparently, and it was like Craig said that he was providing like story points and like helping with the script, and is like, this isn't my job. Like I'm supposed to be acting. You know, like. So I
heard he got like Jeff from accounting to add to the script.
Yeah, they're like, hey, you can write, right?
Don't grab that random guy down the street.
Did you go to 5th grade? Great.
We need a Swedish intern on this one.
Oh man, yeah. So I need to see whatchamacallit, that first one, Casino Royale. But I have seen Skyfall and I have seen Spectre, and I enjoyed both of those very much. So. Good. I'm glad to see him back.
Yeah, me too.
Craig.
Well, I mean, I remember when it was originally reported that he wasn't coming back at all. I was like, well, okay, most Bonds do about 3 or 4 films and they dip out. So, right. And I mean, when I had heard the first rumor that the original cast decision was going to be, I'm going to forget his name right now, Idris Elba. I would love that.
No, I want Idris Elba to play Bond so badly.
Like, the perfect actor, and not just, you know, the idea of an African-American playing Bond, as much as that would be forward-thinking and different. That's more of just like, that would be really convenient, but he's still an incredible actor.
He's just an incredible, and he's very suave.
The perfect, he's of that quality and caliber where he would handle that role in a way that's still entertaining and be his own kind of Bond. So,
yeah. Yeah, that being said...
Well, hold on a second. While we're on the topic of Idris Elba, is Dark Tower a trilogy or is it a standalone?
It's part of a book series. It's part of a trilogy.
It's supposed to be a sequel to the book series, actually. That's what I heard.
That's right.
Okay. Okay. Cool. I kind of want to read the books. Have you read them, Adam?
No, I read the first one when I was in like 8th grade or 9th grade, and then I kind of just fell off with it. I never finished it.
Okay.
Yeah, Stephen King books are kind of hard for me to get through. I don't know why.
Really?
I have never read a Stephen King novel.
Seriously?
I read it.
Yeah, and I love books.
Matt, you poor boy.
Man, I know. I need to get on it.
We're such uncultured swine.
We are. We really are. We're the worst human beings. Why do we even do this?
I don't know, actually.
Do we just call it quits now? In the episode of 13 minutes, call it quits.
I'm going to bed. Oh, man. Yeah, so, yeah.
So, yeah.
Dark Tower. Where were we? Okay, Daniel Craig. Yeah, I say great. He's like 49. So say he does one, he films it when he's 50. He's still in great shape, so I think he'd still do fine. That being said, this definitely would be his last one. And by that time, Idris Elba would be in his mid to late 40s. So
perfect.
I'd say there's very slim chance of him getting cast as... he's 44 now.
That's
as sad as it makes me.
Which means they'll probably go back, get someone really young, and do this all over again.
Well, aside from Elba, I would love to see Tom Hiddleston play him.
I knew you were gonna say that the millisecond I thought about it.
Tom Hiddleston would be so good as Bond, dude.
No, I think he'd be better as a Bond villain.
Lanky boy.
He's not. He can bulk up.
I feel like he'd be better as a villain for a Bond movie.
He would be really good as a villain, but I think
there we go. That's a better casting decision.
Yeah, cast him as a Bond villain.
There we go.
Yeah,
Swedish billionaire.
Whatever.
Boom. Done. What's next?
You don't even have to change the name.
I'm making hydroelectric cars, and I'm also going to kill the world.
I'm going to build my IKEA furniture while you're trying to chase me down.
Oh yes, that'd be so good.
No, that's his thing. He's getting chased. He needs to run on the water. He just pulls out all these cubes that are tables.
Oh, yes. Haste. Trademark. No one can
steal it. Copyright. You can't steal
it. Quickly.
Sony, we know you're listening. You can't steal that idea.
Caption. He just throws the.
You have to.
He throws the cube into the water and it turns into IKEA tables. Oh my gosh.
I'll ride my Shastronga into the desert.
My IKEA mom book or dresser drawer.
It'd be so perfect.
And then here's what he does. He needs to climb a wall. He puts down his IKEA mom dresser. and then as he's jumping off of it, it falls, and Daniel Craig has to save the kid it's about to fall on.
Yes. Now we're okay. So
it's just it's pretty much
the
turning
Rock
in.
Shows up.
No, this is pretty much a like advertisement for everything IKEA, because they had that incident where the dressers were falling on kids. So
yes,
we're covering all the bases.
There you go.
Hayes, this is too good of a joke to not be real.
Why don't you work for IKEA as like their marketing director?
What I would give.
Oh man,
this is the best episode of this.
We don't have enough time. Really of course we do. Based on my new white Swedish clock on the wall, I'm pretty sure it's at least 15 minutes.
That clock only cost me $5. Are you serious?
IKEA trip, IKEA, and they just like take their Maserati.
They both turn to camera. Where'd you get it? Turn to camera. IKEA.
Cue a few explosions.
I got it at turn to camera. IKEA.
That's right.
A couple scenes later, they're like, "Man, this bookshelf is just high quality. Where'd you get this?" Turn to camera. IKEA.
Target.
Winks.
Oh. Target.
Just imagine the plot twist, though.
The only one who buys it from Target gets killed.
That's what I'm saying. Like later on, he's like, "I trusted you, Eric. You were my best friend." He's like, "I'm sorry. The lamp was only $10 from Target," and just like shot in the face.
Oh, man.
I trusted you.
We are. How are we not like Hollywood level writers right now?
I'm watching the whole film play out in my mind, and I'm giving it at least a solid 6 out of 10.
Oh man!
But then here's the best part: we use the soundtrack from Shaft.
Yes.
What?
Just like a ton of like just funk bass and like
funk bass. That's all it is.
Oh, I would.
And then we keep the theme song for Shaft as the opening credits.
Yes. Oh, the opening scene is a chase scene through an IKEA. Oh, this, and then they're like, "Well, we need to make a quick pit stop," and they stop by the cafeteria and eat the hot dogs.
No, the Swedish meatballs, bro.
Oh, yeah, the Swedish meatballs. That'd be better.
Come on,
he's
Adam,
like,
get with
he's
it.
like, Tom Hiddleston's character goes, "My greatest weakness," and has to eat the meatballs before running away.
Oh man,
kind of.
Yeah. Okay.
I think we need to wrap up the news while we're ahead and just call it good.
Well, here's the last.
So give us
news.
Yeah, give us the last one and let's move on.
Oh gosh. Okay. So we've all heard about this. Shia LaBeouf has been arrested again for public drunkenness and disorderly conduct.
My boy, my sweet boy,
my sweet baby boy.
Actual cannibal Shia LaBeouf has been arrested again. Whatever. You know what? This. All right. Here, Shia LaBeouf. I know you're listening. Here's a direct message to you. Whatever you got going on in your life, I pray that you figure it out.
And then once you figure it out, just do it.
Thank you, Hayes. Oh gosh.
Why are you putting off today? What should you do tomorrow? All right. Wait, reverse that. What are you doing tomorrow that you could put off till today? And
wait,
never mind.
Just
roll credits.
IKEA furniture.
IKEA Mom, the bookshelf that crushes children.
You know what? Seriously, I mean that because I don't know. There's something off about that guy, and I just hope that whatever he has going on in his life, honestly, like he gets it figured out because that's happened a lot, and like he really is a talented actor. Like, dude, man can act.
Did you see the first couple? Or no, after the first Transformers, he was okay.
He doesn't do bad, and yeah.
If you're using that if you're testing his acting caliber with that
Fury,
film,
though.
No, he's in better roles. He has way better roles.
Yeah, he's in Fury, which is David Ayer film.
Fury,
really
still waiting for that one-man Shia LaBeouf Transformers play.
Nudity and warning with this film, but nymphomaniac. He is a very.
The name just kind of screams.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
I gave out the warning, but he does play a very intense character in that film.
I guess you could say he plays a nymphomaniac.
No, not him.
All right.
No. Gosh. Charlotte Davis, I think she's the main role in that film. That I guess 2 parts. But
anyway, he all the best to you, man. Like, I hope you can figure out what you need to figure out.
If Lindsay Lohan can get her crap back together, so can you.
Anyone can. There's people who've look at Robert Downey Jr. Like arrested for drug use numerous times, fired off of Ally McBeal. and now like one of the highest paid actors in Hollywood and phenomenal actor, and seems like a stand-up dude.
But you know what turned his life around?
His son is following in his footsteps.
Do you know what turned his life around, Matt?
What?
He went to a Burger King after being released from jail.
That's right. Yeah,
and ate a burger and claimed it was the worst burger he's eaten in his entire life, and it convinced him to sober up.
Are you serious?
Yep.
Is that true?
Yep.
I thought you were referencing Iron Man, where he gets a hamburger.
No, that's just, I guess, like more just like that character's thing. But no, that happened legit, and that's what convinced him to get straight. It was so bad
it convinced him.
It was so bad. He was like, I can't live like this.
Oh my gosh!
And now here we are. So hopefully Burger King serves sweet Shia LaBeouf boy a horrible burger, and turns his life around.
Let's hope so.
Actually, he came through somewhere like Kingsport, Tennessee, a while back, right?
Shia LaBeouf? I heard about that. He said he loved it or something. Well, right?
he did like a really weird thing called "Take Me Somewhere,"
okay,
where he would broadcast his GPS coordinates, and if you got there first, you could pick him up and take him anywhere.
So technically, we could recreate the original Cannibal Shia.
But he ended up traveling 13 or 14 states in less than a week or something like that.
That's interesting.
Yeah, dude, look it up. It's awesome. It's an awesome story.
Okay, cool. Well, good on you. I hope you figure out whatever you need to figure out, Shia LaBeouf. Stop stealing content, too. Anyway. All right, so we're going to enter a segment we do only sometimes when we get them, and it's shout-out segment. First of all, I'm going to shout out, actually, not just my buddy, all of our buddies, kind of. Silas Kroll, he just wanted to say he loves a podcast. He cracks up. He said every time he listens to it, he said sometimes he can't breathe, and he can't wait to hear each episode every week.
I want at least one.
Okay,
I want
if he
one
can
death
handle
as the result of this podcast.
Up at, like, the rest of it, how is he going to handle the start of this episode?
Oh, this
has been gold. This has been
and that's
very
sad
good.
Because his wife is pregnant and due in a few months. So
rip.
I'll have to warn him not to listen to this episode because he'll
tell him
die
to skip
of laughter.
the first 20 minutes.
Yeah. Yep. Anyway, so shout out to you, Sai, you to Gucci Mane. Congrats on your upcoming child, and hopefully he/she is healthy.
Are you assuming it's gender?
I just did. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Dang.
I just did assume it's gender.
What if it's non-binary? Man. What are we going to do about that?
We'll figure it out. They'll figure it out. It's not my problem.
We'll figure it out. I mean, okay.
Anyway, also, one of my buddies who does a podcast called Cinematary reached out to us and let us know he'd like to hear some of our opinions, kind of on maybe the not huge blockbustery movies that come out. So I would love to do I know, Adam, you'll probably talk about Baby Driver. There are certain films that aren't huge blockbusters that we do like to see. So we will hopefully do some more stuff about that. But Andrew, thank you for contacting the show. And hopefully we'll be able to kind of spread more of our opinions about, maybe not the huge superhero or action blockbusters that come out.
About to say, if you guys are ever in the mood for some just trippy existential movies, I got the stash. So
that's right.
You mean
Adam does.
Movies are going to make me want to die by the end of them?
Not. Okay,
that's
like
what you said last week.
Just a few.
Yeah, you're like, if this doesn't make me depressed and ruin my life, I don't care.
I got about 3 we could do. We could do Hunger with Michael Fassbender, a film by Steve McQueen. We could do. These are all shout out to my boy Denny, because he's the one that hooks me up with these incredible films. Let's see, Take Shelter by director Jeff Nichols. That's an interesting horror style look into what it means to become schizophrenic.
Okay.
Sounds
man,
trippy.
I got plenty, or just good funny art like Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Yeah,
I love Scott Pilgrim.
Great film. I love Edgar
really
Wright.
creepy.
That's why I'm really excited to see Baby Driver.
You should be.
Like, I am very excited.
It's going to be too good. Like, you're going to want to go walk back in and hand your ticket and get another one and go see it again. Because I kind of did that.
Can I, get a refund and then get another one of these?
No, legit. It was
it fully satisfied?
Yeah. It was so good.
All right. You guys ready to talk about the main topic, Spider-Man Homecoming?
Let's do it.
All right. Let's talk box office first. So opening day, it got 117 million, and that is a good opening. It's a very good opening. Globally, it's 257 million.
That's correct.
And that's not including like tonight. So that's really good so far off $175 million budget. Let's say double that for marketing. So it's already made more than its money back, and it's just the opening weekend. And since it's been receiving really good reviews, it'll probably have some good legs on it.
Spider legs, 8 of them.
Some good spider legs, eight sweet spider legs to carry it through to get some more sweet cash.
It's kind of ironic though. Everyone was like, "Oh, this movie's barely going to break 100 million," and then, or I think they were aiming for 100 million as like their low point, and then it's at what it is, and it's like, man, that's nuts.
Yeah, it's the second biggest Spider-Man opening. The first being Spider-Man 3, which is the worst Spider-Man movie.
Yeah.
No, Amazing Spider-Man 2 wasn't very good.
Still better than Spider-Man 3.
I don't know, but maybe.
Anyway. Matt, it's better.
Yeah, don't try to step around.
Don't even question that for a minute.
Topher Grace as Venom. Come on, guys.
Let's be real. Like, High School Musical
Sandman
3
really
gave a better third
though.
installment than Spider-Man with Tobey Tugboat Maguire.
Okay. It's just Tugboat Maguire.
It's just Tugboat.
Emo Tugboat Maguire.
Have you seen that interview with him where he's like, I told you to call... Sorry, guys. I hit the microphone. It's like, I told you to call me Tugboat. And they're like... And the interviewer's like, I'm not going to call you Tugboat. And he's like, not Tugboat, Tugboat Maguire. He's like, Toby, I'm not going to call you that. Can we just get back to the interview? He's like, where's my publicist? Hey, you're fired. Like in the middle of the interview.
That's right.
And then he walks out.
I'm gonna have to go find that video after we're done here.
I mean, anyway. I'm pretty much gonna sound like a broken record about the film or the way I talk about Spider-Man, but Tobey Maguire made a Spider-Man worth watching, but Tom Holland has now surpassed Andrew Garfield for the Spider-Man that we all wanted to see.
I think that's probably the best way to put it. Yeah. Really, I mean, that's true. Tobey Maguire did a good job.
He made his own
in certain aspects.
That was fun to watch.
Yeah.
But it wasn't what we had in our mind.
And it's not, I don't think it was all that true to Spider-Man.
No.
And then Andrew Garfield got us a little closer.
But he also made Peter Parker like a jock.
Yeah, but he was the better Spider-Man out of the two of them.
Yeah, I agree.
But now we have the definitive, this is the Spider-Man person we want to see carry the torch, as they say.
Yeah, so first weekend, good. And I think it's gonna do well box office wide. So let's get into the plot, guys. Spoilers if you're listening. If you haven't seen Spider-Man Homecoming, go out and watch it. It's a great movie. Okay, overall. Actually, first we got to get into this segment we haven't done in a while.
Oh boy.
Hey, Steve, give me that summary.
Oh gosh, I'm so on edge with this.
Hey,
I wasn't expecting this. Okay, so this kid named Peter Parker, who's obviously like the coolest kid ever, is apparently like we just suppose he's been bitten by a spider because he tells us, and then he's like, I'm gonna go climb this building, and his friend's like, wow, you're really cool, mate, and then this bird comes down and eats him, and then that's the end of the movie. Nature.
Wow. That's just... Adam, what do you think? 10 out of 10?
Nature. Oh, guys. Thanks.
All right.
I'm getting claps.
All right.
Woo!
Roll credits. Thank you, our valued listeners. Hey, so you want to try that again, but actually coherent and the actual plot this time around?
I promise.
Don't ask too much of him. Come on.
No. Okay. The actual plot is Peter Parker, a.k.a. Spider-Man, is learning how to be a hero after the events of Civil War. That's which Captain America that was.
Yep.
And he's like, okay, I want to do this. And Tony's like, don't you do that, because that's something I would do. And then he's like, be me, but better. And he's like, but I need the suit. And Tony Stark's like, you don't need the suit. If you need the suit, you're not anything, because I thought the same way one time, and it's just Iron Man 1 all over again. But
and he still feels the same way, kind of.
Yeah, in the movie, it's like, man, this kid's still going to be a little douche about it, so I'm just going to go with it, and it's just going to fly. I'm going to fly in my Iron Man suit. And Vulture's going to fly with his wingsuit. And that's the end of the movie.
All right. I didn't think it could get much better.
11 out of 10.
11, yeah, I'm going to have to dial that amp to 11.
All right, so it tells the story of Spider-Man. It's coming off the back of Captain America Civil War. He's trying to do Spider-Man stuff, but he keeps on being told by Tony Stark, a.k.a. Iron Man, to kind of lay low and just do ground level stuff. But he keeps on trying to kind of prove his worth to Iron Man and show that he can be an Avenger and he can be better. And the story progresses from there as he tries to stop illegal arms dealer, Vulture, a.k.a. Adrian Toomes,
a.k.a. kind of Michael Keaton,
a.k.a. Birdman, a.k.a. Batman.
The irony and everything about Michael Keaton playing Vulture is too much.
I love it.
It's too much. Like, it can't. It's art. It's pure art.
It really is.
Vulture.
Yeah, it is amazing.
Harvey Dent.
Anyway, so in the story progresses as him kind of trying to stop this guy from doing illegal arms. So as far as the plot itself, what did you guys think of it? Did you enjoy it? Did you think the story was fun, exciting, interesting? What?
I mean,
Norris, you can go first.
Sure. I mean, it's pretty much your, and I this is going to sound negative, but it's just your stereotypical Marvel film, like origin story style of just focusing less on what the character does and more on what the character will become. And a big focus on kind of fast-paced character development, trying to draw you in quickly to the story, putting less detail and thought and time into like the overall progression, if that makes sense, and just kind of seeing how Peter Parker, Spider-Man, becomes the hero we're expecting him to be. In this case, he's very rough around the edges, not in a bad boy sense, but he's very misguided in what he thinks is the right way of going about it. And ultimately it's entertaining. I enjoyed watching it, and if you're a big fan of anything Marvel, this is exactly up your alley. And superhero films in general, it pretty much is just nice, clean cut origin film.
See, I didn't think of it that way. I think that it's kind of more of a second act origin.
Really?
Because like you don't see the origin again, and it's kind of more of, hey, let's get into more of telling kind of
I guess that's when I say origin. It has
elements of it.
When I mention origin, I guess I see it as like the full identity of Spider-Man, because so far all we've seen was just the little bit of time in Civil War where he was involved and kind of just drafted, and that wasn't really a character. It was more just like just a quick cameo, if anything. And this is like how he becomes a part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So I would call this an origin story, not in the sense of how he became a superhero per se, but how he becomes a part of the overall story. Because that's the whole goal is for him. He wants to join the group. He's already kind of been doing his own thing for a while. So I guess, does that make sense?
Yeah, and he's like well known. It's like, I'm trying to prove my worth as an Avenger. I'm trying to prove my worth as a hero, and it's almost like a hero origin story, but not a Spider-Man origin story.
Yeah.
Because similarly in the original Spider-Man trilogy, Spider-Man doesn't really I feel like he doesn't truly become Spider-Man until the end, when he's like dealt with all of his past, evils, and like, okay, now I'm Spider-Man, and then there was no more movies after that. But anyway, yeah, I can see where you're coming from. Hey, so what did you think about it?
The title's really misleading. It's called Civil War.
It's called Civil War Spider-Man Homecoming brackets.
It's called Spider-Man Homecoming. But yet we get to the homecoming part, the dance, and he just I can't stay anymore. It's like, see you later.
I thought that was great. I actually loved that part.
I'm like, wait, this title of this movie is really misleading, and I mean, it doesn't make sense.
But plot-wise, aside from the title of the movie.
It's what you expect, like Norris said. I know I said Guardians 2. Holy crap, I can't English correctly now.
Right correctly?
Yeah, gosh, I am falling apart over here.
It's all good, Hayes. You didn't have your cranberries beforehand, that's why.
I had some this afternoon. Okay.
Oh, okay.
As Norris said, it's a very cut and dry Marvel film, but that's not necessarily a bad thing.
No, that's not a slide.
That's actually probably one of the best things you can say about it.
Yeah, like they've gotten better at doing the formula in a way that's still entertaining and interesting.
Yeah, without a doubt. And I feel like it has its strong points. Again, I'm still wrestling with the whole they're teenagers and annoying, but I mean, I feel like they did something they should have done in the first place and give us an enjoyable movie where it didn't try to push too much in terms of the emotion that Tobey Maguire's had, the seriousness that Amazing Spider-Man had, and kind of met in the middle. And it was more like it was more Peter Parker trying to learn to balance being Spider-Man and himself, and it met that medium very well. That's really all I got.
See, I would agree with you on that. And hold on, I gotta attach my laptop charger so I don't die.
Rip. Okay, I'll continue on a little bit.
So I don't die.
I'll continue going a little bit. I really enjoyed finally getting to see Vulture as a villain.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah.
I kind of feel like the first Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, I kind of felt like Green Goblin was a huge kind of rush. But I guess you also kind of had to get a villain that everybody like actually knew about. Because a lot of Spider-Man's villains are like really off-key, and they're all animal-based for the most part, maybe like minus Venom and Carnage.
And Kraven.
Yeah, that too.
And Venom's kind of animal-based because he's kind of a spider.
True.
And Carnage is too.
I'm going to punch you in the throat.
And Rhino is a rhino spider.
And Scorpion was a scorpion spider. And Vulture is a vulture spider.
Vulture spider.
Advanced spider technology has resulted.
And Electro was an electronic spider.
You know, I think it's cut and dry, but I think, like you said, with the Electro spider, no, I think it's kind of cut and dry. It shoots
balls of electricity, not balls of web.
And it fixes your gap tooth, like with the Electro that was played by Jamie Foxx. When you get bitten by eels, it fixes your tooth gap. That happened. Anyway, I feel like it was kind of cut and dry, but what elevated it to a more than stock standard movie for me, or superhero movie for me, was the characters and the comedy. Because I think we've seen better action. The action's good. I loved the plane scene. But the plot overall was pretty standard. There wasn't anything crazy about it. We mentioned this. Haste and I do have a spoiler-free review on YouTube, MovieFellas, and you can check that out.
I also forgot to mention, I think I started to make the point that I felt like the comedy in this was a lot less forced than Guardians of the Galaxy 2. Which was
I would agree with you.
Super like relaxing. Because Guardians 2 kind of pushed the envelope, and like I've said a million times over, Drax and Mantis were just there for comedy relief.
Right.
But this didn't really use any of its characters just kind of for laughs and giggles and stuff like that.
Yeah, I feel like the comedy was a lot more authentic and a lot more natural.
Also, we're getting a sequel in about 2 years.
Wait, I heard my name. What? Sorry.
I said, would you agree, Adam, that the comedy was more authentic?
Yeah, I mean, for the most part. I don't know. I'm getting a little desensitized to Marvel Studios right now, and I can't help but walk in pretty biased, going, "All right, when's the first one-liner gonna come?" Oh, well, and there it is.
See, I think
and
that,
so I know that kind of ruins the fun of it. So for the most part, I can't say that as like it definitely doesn't add to any credibility for my review of it, but I just have to be honest.
Because you hate everything and you just want to watch people die. If not a minimum of 5 tragic deaths in a movie, you're not having it.
In most cases, the cast would all be dead.
That's why your favorite movie is The Perfect Storm.
No, I mean I would agree though. Yeah, the writing in Guardians 2 was like abysmal at certain points, like really, really bad. So yes, I would definitely say.
Well, I still really enjoy Guardians.
Yeah,
but I think that there's a lot of forced
comedy.
Humor.
So yeah.
Yeah. That's true. I thought this was funnier in the funny moments and more authentic in its dramatic moments than a lot of the movies we've seen. Aside from Wonder Woman.
Well, that's because for the most part, Marvel has kind of a really, and DC does this even worse, a they have really bad comedic timing with certain scenes where they want to still they establish like a certain tone, and then right when they do that, they immediately kill it with some kind of a joke, and to the point where it's like it disrupts all of what was happening in the moment, and all you're like, oh, I guess I should laugh, and then you're completely sucked out of the narrative, and you're just kind of whatever.
And then you're trying to watch Batman versus Superman, and everything's trying to be a one.
Everything's bad, and then nothing's good.
Everything leaves Lex Luthor's mouth.
It's a YouTube channel called Just Right, and they talked about that, and I can't remember what it's called, and it's where it started from where someone in poetry would move from comedic or dramatic to trivial, and how a lot of Marvel movies, especially like Doctor Strange, like in the middle of a dramatic moment, they sacrifice the drama for comedy, and it's like they don't trust in the dramatic character, like the drama that they've built up in the film itself, you know.
Yep.
And in rewatching Doctor Strange, which I did a couple weeks ago, it's not a bad movie. It's fine, you know. It's enjoyable enough, but it doesn't have that dramatic weight that you see in like Wonder Woman and like the Dark Knight trilogy. And I think that there maybe isn't as much in this movie, but there is some. They don't sacrifice it for a joke, you know.
Yeah.
When he's pushing the rubble off of him, you know, he sees like half of his face and half of the Spider-Man face. He doesn't go. There's not like a joke or like a, you know, something.
There's no quip.
They laugh.
They simply let the scene speak for itself.
Yeah, he's coming to terms with him being Spider-Man, and I think they did a good job. Second act is slow, but I actually kind of liked that, how it felt like it was kind of high school, because high school was slow for me. So
I felt like that stupid scene of him crawling up the Washington Monument was like super
long. That was really long.
Yep.
Yeah.
Bad editing.
Well, they kept cutting back to the people in the elevator after like the suit would say you've got like 30 seconds, and then it kept jumping back and forth, and you're like, do you really have to keep doing this?
Yeah. And you mentioned in our review that like that serves a story purpose, like that whole thing, because it comes back to like play into, you know, the future part of the movie, but it could have been trimmed down 5 minutes.
Spoiler.
What's that?
You can say it. We put up the spoiler wall.
Yeah. I mean, it stops him from like killing him. Essentially, it stops the Vulture from killing Spider-Man, because he's like, you know what, you're taking my daughter, you saved my daughter. Okay, you know, I'll let you go. Just don't tell her, and you know, we'll be fine.
Yeah.
Okay,
that
so the characters. Go ahead.
Nuts. That scene between him and Michael Keaton in the car,
great
was
scene,
freaking
man.
intense.
He pulls the gun out of the glove box, and he's like, "Listen, all right." And let's move. Okay, so that's a good segue. Let's move on to the characters. Favorite characters. Why were they your favorites in this movie?
I said in our review that Vulture and Peter Parker were my favorite, and actually really enjoyed Happy's scenes. I feel like Vulture was he was, like we said in our review, it was a villain that had his purpose for what he was doing. He was dead set on doing that, and it made sense. It's not one of these, oh, I'm out there to get revenge just because I want to take over the planet. He's like, I just want to make money and survive.
You didn't meet me on a rooftop. I'm Guy Pearson. You didn't meet me on a rooftop when you said you would meet me on a rooftop. And I'm mad now, so I'm going to become a fire-breathing dragon and kill you.
There we go. Yeah, and
no,
but it makes more sense. I'm just kidding.
In all seriousness, though,
it really isn't like that. Go ahead.
We get the first most realistic villain in superhero movies. He doesn't have any ulterior motives. He's just trying to make the best life for him and his family.
Right, and he
gets
screwed over.
It's illegal.
Yeah, it's not
later, but I mean, it's
they humanize.
He's taking
That's the difference.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you see the opening sequence of the movie is Damage Control, which they're going to make a TV pilot of, which is supposed to be like a one-camera The Office style, where it's just a bunch of overworked people who are cleaning up after superheroes, and it's supposed to be kind of like mockumentary style, which I'm super excited for.
All right.
But his crew gets fired off of cleaning up this Chitauri invasion thing.
which
and,
was
from the Avengers.
That was kind of cool. I wasn't expecting a callback to the first Avengers like ever again.
Yeah, and you feel like, okay, well, they have all this stuff. We have all this illegal arms, and like I need to provide for my family, so I'm gonna start doing this. We're gonna start benefiting off of these aliens attacking, and so you're like, yeah, it's not good. He's selling illegal arms and dangerous things, but like I get it. What do you think, Adam?
Well, I'll be honest. I wanted to find a way to summarize what I wanted to say quickly, but a quick quote from the director said this about Michael Keaton's portrayal as Vulture. Said Toomes would be a more of a, quote, regular guy than other MCU villains like Thanos and Ultron, to go with Spider-Man as a regular kid who becomes a superhero. Keaton calls Toomes interesting to play and not completely villainous, saying there's parts of him that you go, you know what, I might see his point. So yeah.
Right.
And
yeah, absolutely.
They humanized him, they made him someone at the same thematic and action level that would make sense for someone like Spider-Man for his first role. They weren't trying to go out the gate with something absolutely crazy to get your attention. And like I said, they focused more on story than narrative, or focused more on character development than narrative, and I think that played to the strengths of the film, making it a lot better. So,
absolutely.
Yeah.
And obviously Tom Holland, we talked about it earlier, but Tom Holland, he is Spider-Man. He is the teenage Spider-Man, trying to balance school, trying to date the hot babe, trying to do Spider-Man-y stuff. And he felt like a high school kid. I know he's like 21. He would have been like 19, 20 when he filmed this, but he looks young and he acts young. And I think I just think he did a great job.
Yeah,
you guys agree?
Shooting lots of web for a 15-year-old boy. Just the usual.
That's true.
Here's something else that I've just kind of been popping around the internet looking at articles and stuff. Apparently, if they do, we've got sequels planned out. They're planning to go the route of Harry Potter and have every sequel be another school year.
I totally misunderstood that. And I was like, are they all getting like lightning bolt scars or something? Is there going to be some bald guy?
They're going to cross over. Warner Bros. Reached an agreement with Disney, and they're going to cross over not Justice League and Avengers, Harry Potter and Avengers.
The scar troubled Harry no more, but there was a disturbance in the Force.
Harry Potter walks up to Peter Parker. He's like, "You're a hero, Parker." And Peter's like, "I'm a what?" And then that's how it goes.
Would Thor be a wizard?
Expecto Patronum.
What does that even mean?
Okay, what any other characters stand out to you? I thought Zendaya was funny.
Oh yeah.
So was Flash.
They gave you an MJ character without giving everything away.
And yeah, exactly. But that had already come out as like but they're like, no, her name's Michelle, and then she's like, oh, call me MJ. I'm like, okay, well, that's fair enough.
And then at that point, the camera might as well have turned to the audience and went, wink, wink, wink.
Wink, wink, wink. Mary Jane, did you hear that? Okay, stop the movie. She stands up.
Roll credits.
Boom mic.
On to the next one.
MJ, as in Mary Jane Watson. Okay, you got it. Okay, all right, good. Let's continue them.
Well.
Yeah. I liked Flash as a mean guy because he wasn't just like a jock bully. He was like, yeah, there's this like prestigious school, and he's like this jerk at this prestigious school. So yeah, what about you guys?
I would say good.
Marissa Tomei is always an attractive woman.
Yep, and that adds to the quality of a film.
Yep. Doesn't it?
Always.
All that mattered to me was the fact that Donald Glover was in the film, however brief.
He was great, wasn't he?
We need to spend a hot minute talking about Donald Glover, because he was great.
He was great. That was one of the only reasons why, if I'm being honest, he added a point to this movie's score for me. When I saw him, I said there and I went, all right, up a point, looking good movie.
When he says, I don't want people getting hurt in this neighborhood, I have a nephew who lives here. Do you know who he's referencing?
The African American Spider-Man.
He's half African American, half Mexican, I believe, and he's Miles Morales. Yeah, that is his uncle. So it was like a fan choice, and it's funny because the artists for Miles Morales actually used Donald Glover and Barack Obama as a reference to make the character. And like a lot of people wanted Donald Glover to play Miles Morales, but Donald Glover's in like his mid-30s now. So anyway,
still
so that's
probably
cool.
One of the best like actor. Well, I'm not gonna say actor, but like comedians, whatever you want to call it out there.
I mean, I would say actor.
I'd love to see him have a bigger role.
Yeah, I kind of wish he had a bigger role because, like, if you went around the internet for like the cast, like Donald Glover was like near the top.
Yep.
But yet he was in it for like maybe a couple minutes at the most.
Yeah, he's not.
But still,
very long.
that one interaction between those two really kind of just set the tone for the rest of the movie.
You haven't been doing this very long, have you? It's really funny.
Yeah, that was great.
What if the start of Spider-Man: Homecoming 2, back at it again? Brackets. Return of Xander Cage.
The Home Reckoning.
What if it's like Donald Glover walks into a house and he's like, "Oh nephew, I haven't seen you in so long," and it's like a little baby, and it's just it's like he picks him up and you see his face and it's just a babe, like it's Donald Glover's head just like CGI'd onto the baby.
Plaster onto a baby. Yeah.
What if
he starts
not even like just baby version of his, like a full like miniaturized baby head Donald Glover, like fully mature adult. That'd be like
I could see it.
Comedy gold.
Wait, hold on. We're missing one of the best freaking characters in the movie. His freaking suit.
His suit, yeah. His
How
suit was pretty good.
Yeah.
Karen was her name?
Karen. He named her Karen.
Yeah. Yeah. And it was really funny.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, Karen would give him like romantic advice and like on how to talk to Liz, which
she would
is
activate
the girl.
Kill mode every 5 seconds,
yeah.
which was great.
You should activate kill mode. No, don't do that. Oh, that was great.
And that was a joke that could have been really overused and kind of beaten to the ground, but they used it so tastefully. It's like, I'm not even mad about this.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought it was really funny how they used the suit in a comedic way, and it was also like, yeah, dude, like you'll be able to use this when you've earned it, but then he just deactivates all the safety nets and uses all the crap in it. Going back to the plot real quick, because I forgot to mention this, did you guys see the twist of the Vulture being Liz's father?
Yeah, pretty much.
You did?
Considering that they kind of tried so hard not to show who her father was, I assumed it would be someone important later.
Okay.
So when it happened, I was just like, yeah, okay.
What about you, Hayes?
Like I said, it kind of caught me off guard. I know I told you that the other night.
Yeah,
But, I mean, like Norris said, it's kind of obvious when you sit back and think about the fact that, like, they never show her dad. But they hadn't really shown her mom up until that point either, so...
Yeah, they didn't make her parents, like, you don't see anyone else's parents, so you don't... Okay, I read it in an article, so that's why I wasn't surprised by it. That being said, I kind of forgot about the article halfway through the movie, and then when I watched it, I was surprised. So, I thought it was... I didn't think they alluded to it too much. It's not like he has, like, this silent, like, thought, and he's like, I wonder if it's her, but it can't be because she's African American and he's white. But maybe it is. You know, like they didn't do like that. They just kind of is like, yeah, this is a thing that happened. And what did you guys think of his reaction when he found out? Because I thought he reacted exactly like a horrified teenager would be.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's kind of like a super intensified stereotype of like meeting the dad for the first time.
But then you realize the dad's the villain
guy who's trying to kill you.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, heck, think about it. The first Spider-Man, when he's meeting, frickin' what's his name, Harry Osborn.
Harry Osborn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever the dad name is, Papa Osborn.
Norman Osborn.
Yeah, Norman Osborn. Papa.
Goblin Osborn.
We're going Papa.
Papa Goblin.
Papa Osborn. He's
Papa
like,
Goblin Osborn.
Because that whole like Thanksgiving dinner scene was like super awkward, just because he knew who he was and he was trying to hide and all that stuff.
Yeah, especially when he walked in and was like, "Dude, Dr. Papa Johnny Osborn, how you doing, man?"
Johnny Osborn.
No,
exactly
Papa John.
Ozzy Osborn just jumps
Papa
through the
Johnny,
window.
Dr. Goblin, Ozzy Osborn.
Octagonopus.
Dr. Octopus.
Now that's some OG YouTube right there.
Yeah.
That is some really old YouTube
That's
stuff.
like 04.
Yeah. posts.
You guys are.
Something like
I don't
that.
even know what you're referencing.
Oh, for real?
What?
Oh man, Matt, you missed out on a great video series.
All right, sweet. Okay, so I think cast good all around. Holland and Keaton obviously stand out. So let's talk the effects. What do you guys think of the visual effects overall, the camera work, all that stuff?
I don't really have a lot to say about it.
I mean, yeah, this is pretty boring.
It's what you expect from Marvel at this point, frankly.
I mean, it's not as much sepia. That was nice.
That's true.
That's a plus.
True.
That's a plus. A little bit more color.
If one thing I liked about it, even though like Vulture and stuff was CGI, it didn't feel as CGI. It's not like
I thought he looked really good.
You're not like drawn to the fact that he's like fake and fake wings and all that stuff. You're like, okay, I'll just look at the whole thing and not be like pay too much attention to it.
There wasn't anything that stood out to me as amazing. Like Ant-Man turning into Giant Man in Civil War. I thought that visual effect was fantastic. It looked super realistic, and I was like, yeah, this is sweet. That being said, there were a couple times when it's like a computer-generated skyline, when it's zooming up close on Tom Holland or Tony Stark or whoever, and it looks...
That whole boat scene was kind of weird. The CGI was kind of funky.
It's very much like blue screen, like this does not look... I think there are a couple times where it's like you're clearly on a blue screen. Like, you should do better at your blue screen effects, your backgrounds and stuff.
Yeah, makes sense.
I liked the new Iron Man armor, though. I thought it was really cool.
I didn't even notice it was new armor.
Oh, really?
I'm so used to seeing
it
Iron Man.
had like this, like the chrome in the middle, and then the classic yellow and red on the bottom and top.
Oh, yeah, I guess the chest plate was a little different, wasn't it? Okay, never mind. I noticed.
Yeah, but that's the thing. I think that some Marvel, hopefully, like Infinity War does, and I think Black Panther may do, especially with the director Ryan Coogler, is do some cool camera work and some cool scenery shots, because the CGI is generally great in the Marvel movies because they have good budgets and they have good companies doing it. But
the soundtrack for Run the Jewels soundtrack for Black Panther is gonna have Run the Jewels, so I'm pretty much not worried about that movie at all.
Fair enough.
When I heard the opening sample, I literally whispered. I went, "No way! Like, there's no way they got Run the Jewels to put their music on a Marvel film." So that made me very excited.
And then you go back and watch that freaking trailer, and you're like, "This looks so
awesome,
bad."
No, that's like the
CGI. The CGI and everything.
Black Panther.
Yeah, Black Panther.
It's not done. You can tell it's very shiny. Like, it's very like.
I feel like the kind of
if we're gonna talk about the productions, I'm talking about just the movie itself as a whole. The way they've,
it's
gonna be amazing. Yeah, without a doubt. But yeah, that trailer was hot trash just because the CGI looks so fake.
I didn't think it looked that bad.
I think
it was just really glossy.
I think you're in a little critical haste, and that's coming from someone who's always overly critical.
I know, right?
Whoa, if Adam's saying it, whoa.
Hey, you want to pump the brakes there,
just
pal.
Calm down.
Just take it easy, man.
Whoa, just take it easy, man.
Just take it easy, man.
I was trying to quote Drake and Josh, but I flubbed.
But then I actually did.
Yeah. And then, don't tell me how to live my life.
Son. All right. Overall, I think they were mostly good. The plane sequence I really, really enjoyed. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
That looked really good, too.
Lots of
I was kind of
hoping to say on the visuals?
Yeah.
No, another plot point kind of thing. I was
okay.
Like I said to you, like prior or after one of the two for doing the video review, I expected there to be some kind of spoiler for future Iron Man or something like that in the
I kind of did too.
I was like, there's gonna be a new suit of armor, something else.
I thought we would get like because the synopsis for Infinity War so far, and if you guys haven't watched it, I encourage you to. The Marvel featurette for Infinity War, it starts out with Chris Pratt, Robert Downey Jr., and Tom Holland talking on the first day of filming for Infinity War, and they're just talking about the movie. And then Kevin Feige talks about what's going on, and he's like, Tony Stark senses this oncoming threat, and he knows something's coming. He knows.
Didn't that start Age of Ultron, though?
It starts kind of... Well, it starts... Oh, crap. I keep hitting this pop filter. It starts because he has that vision when he touches Loki's scepter, and then he has that vision of everyone dying, and Cap's like, you could have saved us all. And so from that point, he's been having this overarching sense of like dread. Something's coming. He knows someone's, trying to destroy the universe or whatever. And so I was expecting the end to be like maybe a post-credit scene, or maybe the very end, Tony Stark is like, hey, I'm gearing up for this. But I think they actually did a good job at saying, John Watts, the director, is like, this is just a Spider-Man movie. We don't got to do any Infinity War stuff. That's going to be its own thing.
Which gives Marvel nothing but time to make it better.
Yeah, absolutely. What did you guys think of what was the first post-credit scene? Because I completely...
Scorpion.
It was Scorpion, right.
Talking to Toons.
Which was fine. Which is great, but...
That makes me excited, because, again, another Spider-Man villain that we've never seen done, really.
Right.
I don't even think I can think of an episode of, like, any of the cartoons where...
He was in the Spider-Man 1 video game.
He was, for
the
N64.
He looks like a green crocodile with an awkward tail. So.
N64, okay. Yeah, he did. He did not look good.
Yeah.
But the second post-credit scene I thought was hilarious.
Oh, that was
probably
one of the best post-credit scenes.
Yeah. Oh man. Oh, I love those appearances.
It was just like, oh hey, you guys have spent all this time waiting just for crap like this. In your face. How much time have you guys wasted for this?
It's like sometimes patience pays off. Sometimes it's just a waste of time.
Yep.
Oh, Cap.
But that was not a waste of time. That was magnificent.
It was hilarious. I love it. It's kind of making fun at all the people who are like us. It's making fun of us. Mm-hmm. And if we go into a Spider-Man film for anything, it's watching Captain America make fun of us. I mean, that's just what you want.
I liked how they used him for like, oh hey, clean up your act, kids.
Right,
kind of character.
This guy, and then the gym teacher's like, I'm pretty sure this guy's a war criminal, but we have to show this anyway.
Yeah.
The state says so.
Well, you know who the coach was, right?
Who was he?
Hannibal Buress, the comedian.
Oh,
yeah,
really?
I noticed that.
Yeah,
I didn't even
notice that. That's why it was hilarious,
because
he is hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, he did a good job. That's why I laughed.
All
right. Anything else to say about the story, plot, characters, effects, anything like that?
Nah, let's get into scores.
No?
I think let's
covered
do the
pretty scores. Well. All right, Adam, since if anyone's listened to our review, you guys know did we give our reviews on this, our scores on the review? Hey,
I think we did.
Okay. The first time, but maybe not the second time, because we recorded it like 12 times. All right, Adam, let's hear yours real quick.
Well, pretty much the whole film, walked in, experienced it, and I was like, solid Marvel film, gonna give it a 5. Then I saw my boy Danny Glover, and I went, oh, okay, it's a little better, and then I gave it a 6.
From a 5 to a 6.
Oh my gosh. Oh, man.
Now let me be clear, because technically a 5 out of 10 is perfectly average.
It's a positive review.
And I don't consider that to be like, I don't think it's a bad movie at all. It's just not.
Right, yeah.
It's entertaining, but in terms of compelling storylines and all that stuff, So, yeah, and then seeing Donald Glover actually playing a role in a way that kind of was a nice treat for fans, but it wasn't overdone, so I was like, all right, it's a little better now. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, that's like what I would have given a Doctor Strange, but go ahead, Haste.
I feel like if anything, Michael Keaton made that movie at least a 6.5. Just him alone.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. But we actually like fun things.
Oh my goodness!
To watch the world burn, like what Michael Caine says in.
Hey, I know what the young kids like.
Dark Knight.
I watch Backyardigans.
Some men just want to watch the world burn.
Whatever.
I don't know. I can't do a Cockney accent.
I watch Paw Patrol, Norris. It's great.
Oh, by the way, everyone, Haste is a brony. In case anyone...
I am not a brony.
You used to be.
That was never a thing that was real. It was just a long-running joke.
Oh, okay.
That my parents took way too seriously and tried to force on me.
Yeah, didn't you have a Rainbow Dash figurine?
Yeah, because my parents were like, here, if you're a brony...
there, Mr. Haste.
You make one joke one time about liking unicorns, and your parents take you way too seriously.
Oh, man. Okay, all right, go ahead.
Never outlive that, can I?
It's okay.
I'm not embarrassed at all.
Well, if you weren't embarrassed, you sound a little flabbergasted there. Sound like running a little low on air.
Those demons are dead. They died a long time ago.
Oh, man.
Okay.
You sound like you've been running through an IKEA, running from some bad guys.
Eating too many Swedish meatballs.
All right,
exploding Swedish meatballs. I think my score from the other day is still going to stand. I give it an 8.
Yeah.
Okay.
Michael Keaton's acting, just put it up there, and finally getting villains that like I've been waiting for, like Vulture, and to see it done so freaking well. And he was just such a like humanized, you can understand where he's coming from villain. It's just like yes.
Okay.
That honestly kind of made the movie for me.
Okay. I also will give it an 8 out of 10. I think the reason I give it an 8 out of 10, plot's pretty straightforward, but I thought the comedy hit all of the things it attempted to do. It did really well, and that's why I think I enjoyed it so much. It when it was funny, it was funny. When it was dramatic, it was dramatic. The villain was a real dude. He wasn't just an evil guy. I really thought it was hilarious, and I want to go see it again just because I want to feel that lighthearted tone to it. You know, not every superhero movie has to be the world is ending. Some can just be
looking at you, Wonder Woman.
Dude's. Well, no, and that's fine. Like if it does it well, Wonder Woman did it fantastically, and I think Wonder Woman is a better film. But
true that.
You know, why didn't your Wi-Fi cut out yet? Come on, I'm just waiting for it.
It's one click away, baby. I can disappear whenever you want me to.
But I think it just it hit where it was supposed to hit, and I 8 out of 10 I think is really, really, I think it's a fun, super cool film.
Yeah.
So
without a doubt.
All right, guys. Well, let's transition into what you watching, mate. Norris, let's start with you. What you watching, mate?
Well, on the not serious side, my wife and I have been watching a ton of that 70s show, which has been great. Honestly, I forgot how much of a great show that was. It's just like it's one of those really just binge watch kind of shows that you just kind of throw on.
It's almost better to go back and watch it now that we're older and actually understand the comedy references and stuff.
Because when I was in middle school, it was just like, my mom's like crying from laughing. I'm like, I don't get it. So,
or your parents are like, turn this off. This is inappropriate.
This is inappropriate. Yeah.
But on a more serious note, I have watched the other night a Netflix original that was absolutely incredible called Okja.
That's on my list of things to watch.
It is.
And Andrew mentioned that when he wrote it.
Yeah, it was. Oh man, where to even start? So the film, in short, is about a very, very inflated, crazified version of like a popular agricultural company. Puts on this contest to make these super pigs, and they ship 10 of them to 10 different places around the world.
Black Mirror.
Huh?
Oh gosh, no, let's continue.
No, not that.
Don't even listen.
So anyways,
the delivery was great for that.
Oh no. But the main storyline focuses on the pig that is sent to rural South Korea, where a girl, Mija, and her father raise the pig, and come to find out this pig is actually considered the best. It's the super pig that the company was wanting, and just the story follows the pig being removed from Mija's care forcibly, pretty much, and her quest to get Okja back. And it explores some very, very dark, intense themes in a way that, at first, the way it's presented and the kind of tone of the film, it seems very kiddish. And then in about 15 minutes, that sense of innocence is completely ripped away. And
when Okja eats her alive, and she exists still in his body, and that's where the film takes place?
No. I actually can't even talk about some of the things that happen because it's that graphic.
Okay, wow.
Yeah. Oh, it is Black Mirror. Great.
Yeah, so the director is
that's just
who directed one of my favorite kind of indie releases from a few years ago. He's a South Korean director named Bong Hoo. I know he has a second suffix, Bong Hoo. Hoo. He originally did another indie release called Snowpiercer with Chris Evans.
Heard of it.
Loved Snowpiercer.
Haven't seen it yet.
So his whole goal of using surrealism and how he makes his films to kind of deliver very intense ideas in a way that's super interesting and kind of really fun to watch.
I can't even imagine what that... I forgot that he directed that, and I know now that it's going to be... Because there are some rough things.
Oh, yeah. Because the movie seems real, but then there are certain moments where it just completely betrays its sense of reality, and like it still looks real, but none of it could ever truly happen. So it exists in kind of... It's like kind of a fantasy, kind of fictional, like... parable of sorts, but then at the same time it seems like it's just an actual historical narrative. Great casting, Paul Dano, Jake Gyllenhaal, I'm gonna forget April
isn't
something
Bryce Dallas
she plays the CEO of the company, and just all across the board.
Oh, so it really is Black Mirror.
It's such a good movie. Man, I cannot tell you. And honestly, it's the first film I've ever watched that...
Tilda Swinton,
there you go.
Completely two different people. No, I was thinking of Lily Collins. Okay.
But
very different people.
It was one of the first movies that ever, and this wasn't his intention, I'm sure, but it was kind of a byproduct. It was one of the first films that truly made me question how I eat and why I eat what I eat. And you don't think that's what it's about, but in about the first 20 minutes, you're going to go, oh no. And you're going to figure out exactly.
Apparently, the creator of this movie, Bong Hu, became vegan after creating this movie, or while researching for this movie.
Yeah, I'm telling you, dude. I mean, I'm sitting here, obviously, I ate a cheeseburger for dinner today, so I clearly have not changed that much.
But it makes you think in that kind of way.
Yeah, no, it will. Yes.
Okay.
Definitely recommended film.
Okay, cool. Awesome. All right. What else? Anything else?
Baby Driver.
I mean, Baby Driver, obviously, but we're going to talk about that sometime, either next week or on the next episode. But Edgar Wright, one of the best comedic directors of our generation. So,
absolutely.
And in this movie, he took everything that made his films good and was given $100 million budget and knocked it out of the park. So,
it was a $40 million budget.
You know what I mean? Comparatively speaking, big for budget, him, that's huge.
Yeah, it's a big budget.
Yeah, that movie.
And I mean, all-star cast.
Oh, yeah.
Just
a ton.
Crazy cast. I'm excited to see it.
And the other thing, and it's funny, it's what I'm going to watch either sometime this week, is the Netflix Simon Belmont series, the Castlevania series they've released.
I saw that.
Yes, I'm going to watch that too.
It's very short. It's only 4 parts, about 20-ish minutes a piece, so watch the whole thing in like an hour and a half.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Let me know what you guys think
We'll talk about that. Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, Haste, what you watching, mate?
Not really a whole lot. I've been watching Preacher, which is a great show.
Okay, is it good? I've heard mixed.
I like it. However, it is not in any way, shape, or form family friendly.
Okay.
Seth Rogen's one of the directors.
Oh, there you go.
So that you just know what you're getting into watching that. There's a lot of... Okay, it's on AMC, which I mean did Breaking Bad and Walking Dead and stuff like that. The amount of things that they get away with on that show are
very surprising.
Oh yeah, very, very, very surprising. But I enjoy it. It's the first season's kind of hard to get through until you get to the very end, because it's like apparently they went back and made like a prequel to the comic series, and then the like halfway midpoint of the season was actually like picks up from the comics. So I mean, from that point forward, it's absolutely like insane. But the second season has just been crazy. Like Norris, I am very excited to watch the Castlevania anime, which I'm just like, this is going to be great. Hopefully.
Okay.
I'm excited to see War for Planet of the Apes this week.
Oh yes, I'm so excited to see that, dude.
I actually just for the first time this past week went back and watched the first one, or actually watched the first one for the first time. I didn't know the movie was so old. That was like 2011. That's crazy.
Yeah, and have you seen Dawn?
No, that's like tomorrow or Tuesday. Those are on my things to do. But I'm really excited for War just from like the first movie alone. So
it gets better. Like
first one,
Rise is good. Rise is really good.
Rise tugs on the emotional heartstrings a lot. Dawn
of the Planet of the Apes is 10 times better than Rise. I'm not even lying. It is a fantastic film. And this one, people have said there is not a shot or a moment wasted in this movie. And this guy's directing the Batman movie, Matt Reeves.
Sweet.
So, yeah.
And Still watching Supergirl. I know I've talked about that. I'm kind of going through it like an episode or two a night, so it's going to take a while to finish, but I'm still enjoying it. I mean, it's interesting.
Okay, cool. Is that all?
Yeah, that's it for
me. Good. Shut up already. Okay. I'm watching. Okay, so all right. So it's been an ongoing joke, guys. The first episode with Senior Norris and I, we talked about some of our favorite movies of all time. And after the first episode, Adam went and watched one of my favorite movies just so he could get, because I talked about it. He's like, yeah, I'll go back and watch it. And I said I would watch one of his favorite movies. And I hadn't. And it's been about it's been about 6 months since we started the show. Mm-hmm. And I still hadn't watched it. But last week I was at Redbox looking for a movie to watch.
Lo and behold.
And guess what was on Blu-ray? John Wick was available on Blu-ray. So I rented it. And it is fantastic. I don't know why I rented it. I should have just bought it because I'm going to go out and buy the Blu-ray. John Wick is an amazing film.
That's right.
It's the best action film that I've seen since Bourne. It might be better than Bourne.
Wait, are we talking like Bourne as a whole?
The good Bourne.
Because the most recent Bourne was hot trash.
We're talking about the original trilogy.
The original trilogy, the good ones, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I literally watched the movie. I went back out to Redbox. I returned it, and then I rented the second movie and then watched it all in the same night. And the second one was really good.
That's right.
So fantastic movies. I rewatched Avatar, and no, not Avatar, directed by James Cameron. Avatar: The Last Airbender, and no, not Avatar: The Last Airbender, directed by M. Night Shyamalan and Ding Dong.
That's just The Last Airbender. That's not Avatar. That's just The Last Airbender.
I rewatched Avatar: The Last Airbender after watching a review of the movie and how terrible it was by the YouTube channel Just Right. Should check that channel out. They're really good. They do a lot of like video. I don't know what they're called. Video stories.
Video essays.
Vlogs. Video essays. Yeah.
You're welcome.
Also, Andrew Swafford, Cinementary Podcast, who we just gave a shout out, has a really good one on Scarlett Johansson and kind of the characters she plays. If anyone wants to check that out, you should definitely watch that. Adam, you'd really, really enjoy that. But Avatar: The Last Airbender, I'm making a definitive statement now of every TV show to ever exist. I think that is my favorite of all time. Not just animated, not... It literally is such a fantastic show.
Oh, yeah.
And so I watched it in 4 days. And I've already watched it.
And ruined it with Legend of Korra.
Well, we won't talk about that.
I really enjoy Legend of Korra so far.
I liked Legend of Korra up until the very end when they're like, oh, hey, there's these two girls and they're together.
A lot of people thought that was inappropriate to do for children's television.
Here's my problem with it. It's not that they made it an LGBT couple, because I mean, I frankly don't care what you do with your life, but the fact that over the entire series, other than them at one point mentioning, we were all apart, we wrote each other letters, there's no inkling at a relationship between the two until they're together at the very end of the series. The last scene is those two together. My phone's
going off.
No, you're good.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. So I'll just see. I mean, I really, really enjoyed the first season when I watched it beforehand, and I'm really, really enjoying it right now. So I also ordered the sequel comics to The Last Airbender too, because that's just a great series, and I've heard that the sequel comics are good too. So I'm watching Legend of Korra right now, and I'm really enjoying it again. So we'll see.
See, here's something that I think would be cool to do. Kind of do these mini episodes where we take something that maybe 2 or 3 of us have known and just maybe take half an hour to just sit down and just kind of talk about the kind of topic. I mean, I feel like that would be kind of cool, taking half hour, maybe talk about Harry Potter, talk about Avatar.
Maybe do a Google Hangout or something, a Skype thing we did. I think that'd be pretty cool, actually.
Yeah, really. Just an idea, spitballing, future of MovieFellas.
Yeah, so Avatar's amazing show, just the best of all time, I think. I mean, all the feels. I'm going to watch Baby Driver, War for the Planet of the Apes, and probably Spider-Man again. And so those are the things I will be watching this week. Guys, you ready to end out this stellar podcast show?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty tired.
All right.
Wow, this has actually been a fairly short episode. Wow.
Yeah, I know.
That's unlike us, and I feel like we've covered so much.
We really have. I think this is, guys, this is podcasting gold right here. You're welcome.
This has
viewers.
probably been the best podcast. Let's face it.
Hey, sorry, just before I forget, for what you're watching, realized I watched Moana today. And it was great.
Okay.
It made me feel wholesome again.
It is good.
And it was very nice.
Yeah.
So it brought Norris out of his hole.
After all
it really, you may be joking, but it really did. And
really,
I'd watched we could talk about it later, but a very intense film the other night, and this was just like very refreshing. It was very good. I loved it.
Right. Well, cool. I really like Moana. I think it's really enjoyable. Well, cool. All right. Well, guys, let's close out the show. If you want to reach the show, you can hit us up on Facebook, and we are MovieFellas on Facebook and also MovieFellas on YouTube. If you want to check out we have, like we said, Space and I did a spoiler-free Spider-Man Homecoming review that we kind of did over Skype to be able to bounce off each other to review it. So let us know what you think of that format.
I'm really sorry for the audio on that. That was super odd.
Yeah, we'll get it figured out.
It wasn't bad for a first shot.
No, it wasn't bad. And I also got a new webcam that's 1080p, so higher quality, better audio. We'll get it figured out. And if Norris wants to join us on that, that'd be awesome. We'd be able to kind of get maybe we can do like Google Hangouts, something cool like that.
Yeah.
But anyway, you can find us on YouTube. Make sure and subscribe to us, MovieFellas. And you can find us on Facebook, MovieFellas. You can email the show at moviefellaspod@gmail.com. You want to ask us a question, send us a sweet diss or a sweet meme or have any ideas. Also, you can find us on capital MF. That doesn't sound good. MovieFellas podcast on iTunes, and that is a capital M and a capital F in MovieFellas. And also on SoundCloud as well. So, guys, hit up the show if you want to ask us anything. We'd love to hear from you. We also really appreciate the listens, really appreciate the feedback we've been getting. I've heard nothing but good things, except from my girlfriend, who thinks the show's really boring. Perfect. So, this is what I hear, and this is what I've heard, that like everyone I've heard who does like a podcast, they're like, whenever they get their parents or like family or whoever to like listen to, they're like, listen, I didn't really understand what you were talking about, but you seem to be having a really good time. So perfect. That's what my mom told me the other week. So, oh man. Okay, guys, make sure and just hit up the show whenever you want to hit us up. Thank you for listening. We appreciate it so much, and we're going to close out the show now. But gladiate it up. We'll see you in a couple weeks, all right?
Peace out.
Love you guys.
Peace.